I think that will be a key shot for Eala, that backhand up the line.
The stage is set and the tension is electric. We are heading back to the iconic Hard Rock Stadium for the 2026 Miami Open, and one name is echoing louder than ever: Alex Eala. But this isn't just a regular return to the tour, it's a high-stakes mission, a homecoming to the very courts that birthed a legend. All eyes are now on a potential collision with the world's most dominant force, the Polish powerhouse Iga Swiatek. It was right here, just 1 year ago in March 2025, that the tennis world stood still in absolute, jaw-dropping disbelief. A teenage sensation from the Philippines, a wild-card entry that many had overlooked, didn't just play against the world number 2. She dismantled her in a straight-set masterclass that changed the trajectory of Asian tennis forever. Imagine the scene back then. The humid Miami air, a stadium packed with a vocal Filipino crowd that had turned a standard tournament match into a Davis Cup-style atmosphere. Alex Eala, then ranked 140th in the world, walked onto the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove. On the other side of the net was Iga Swiatek, the queen of consistency, the 5-time Grand Slam champion, and the woman who had dominated the WTA Tour with an iron fist. Most experts gave Eala no chance. They called it a learning experience. They expected a quick victory for the top seed, but they forgot one thing: Alex Eala doesn't just play, she fights. When that final ball landed out and the scoreboard flashed 6-2, 7-5, the world witnessed one of the greatest upsets in modern tennis history. It wasn't just a win, it was a seismic shift. Iga's forehand, usually her greatest weapon, collapsed under the relentless, flat-hitting pressure from Eala's left-handed game. Iga made 32 unforced errors that day, forced into mistakes by a girl who refused to be intimidated by the number next to her opponent's name. That single match didn't just earn Alex points, it earned her the respect of the entire sporting world. It transformed her from a Nadal Academy student into a global giant killer. Now fast forward to today, February 2026. The world of tennis is once again bracing itself. Alex Eala isn't the 140th ranked underdog anymore. She is a woman on fire, fresh off an incredible run in Dubai where she broke into the world top 35, proving her 2025 miracle was no fluke. As she prepares to step back onto those Miami courts, the memories of that historic upset are fresh in everyone's minds. The American fans are buzzing, the international media is speculatively drawing up the brackets, and the Philippine nation is holding its collective breath. The question on every fan's lips isn't just if they will meet again, but whether history is about to repeat itself in a way that will permanently alter the landscape of the WTA. This isn't just a rematch, it's a battle for legacy. The Queen of Miami title is on the line, and Alex Eala is coming to reclaim her throne. To truly understand why the 2026 rematch is the most anticipated event in tennis, we have to pull back the curtain on what happened during that fateful afternoon in March 2025. It wasn't just a match, it was a tactical masterclass that left Iga Swiatek, the undisputed queen of the tour, searching for answers that never came. Alex Eala, ranked world number 140 at the time, walked into the Hard Rock Stadium as a wildcard. She was the youngest player in the quarterfinals, facing a woman who was chasing her first title of the season and looking to assert her dominance. But from the very first serve, it was clear that Eala hadn't come to just participate, she had come to conquer. The match began with a bruising opening stretch that set the tone for the entire encounter. The first 4 games alone took over 25 minutes to complete. Every point was a war of attrition, with deuce after deuce, as Eala refused to give Swiatek any rhythm. The Polish star, known for her Iga bakery, where she often hands out 6-0 sets to her opponents, found herself on the receiving end of a barrage of flat, aggressive hitting. Eala's left-handed forehand became the star of the show. She was hitting lines with surgical precision, catching Swiatek off guard with deep returns that landed just inches inside the baseline. In that opening set, Eala fired 10 breathtaking winners, while Swiatek, visibly frustrated and uncharacteristically rattled, collapsed under the pressure, racking up a staggering 19 unforced errors. The first set ended 6-2 and the stadium, filled with thousands of Filipinos waving their flags, erupted in a roar that could be heard across Miami Gardens. But a champion like Iga Swiatek doesn't go down without a fight. In the second set, the Iga fire finally ignited. She adjusted her position, found her rhythm, and raced to a 4-2 lead. It seemed like the fairy tale was coming to an end. The momentum had shifted, and the experts in the commentary box began talking about a third-set comeback. But this is where Alex Eala proved her mental fortitude was far beyond her 19 years. Instead of crumbling under the pressure of a world number 2 mounting a comeback, Alex went into what she later called compartmentalization mode. She blocked out the noise, she blocked out the rankings, and she focused on the yellow ball. Eala began to mix up her play, utilizing a deceptive backhand and a cheeky drop shot that left Swiatek flat-footed. She broke back to level the set, and then at 5-all the tension reached a breaking point. Eala broke Swiatek for the 8th time in the match to lead 6-5. Serving for the biggest win of her life, Alex didn't flinch. On match point, she hammered a deep return that forced one last wild forehand error from Swiatek. The ball sailed long, and the scoreboard read 6-2, 7-5. Alex Eala had done the impossible. She became the first woman from the Philippines to reach a WTA 1000 semifinal, and in doing so, she became only the third player in history to beat Swiatek while ranked outside the top 100. In the post-match press conference, a shell-shocked Swiatek admitted, "She went all out. She was relaxed, her returns were long, and she stayed on target the whole match." Alex, on the other hand, was on cloud 9, telling the world that she had been training for this moment her entire life at the Rafa Nadal Academy. That victory wasn't just a win on a scorecard, it was the birth of a new rivalry. It was the day the giant killer was born, and it set the stage for every clash that would follow. It remains the golden standard of Filipino sports achievement, a miracle in Miami that still haunts Iga Swiatek as she prepares for their next encounter. The Alex Eala who walked onto the courts of Miami in 2025 was a talented teenager with a dream. But the Alex Eala who is preparing for the 2026 Sunshine Swing is a different beast entirely. She is no longer just a rising star or a promising junior, she is a solidified elite professional who has spent the last year refining every single aspect of her game under the watchful eye of the legendary Rafa Nadal. As we stand in February 2026, Alex has just concluded a historic run at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, a WTA 1000 event where she didn't just participate, she dominated the headlines. This Middle East swing has been the ultimate proof of her evolution, transforming her from a giant killer into a consistent, top-tier threat on the WTA circuit. Let's look at the numbers because they tell a story of incredible growth. Entering February 2026, Alex was ranked around world number 47. By the time she finished her quarterfinal run in Dubai, she had skyrocketed to a projected career high of world number 32. This isn't just a number, it is a historic milestone. It makes her the highest-ranked Filipino player in the history of the sport, shattering the long-standing record of Cecil Mamiet. But more importantly, breaking into the top 32 changes the game strategically. For the upcoming Miami Open 2026, this ranking means she is on the verge of being a seeded player. No more grinding through the brutal heat of qualifying rounds, no more facing the world's top 5 in the very first round. She has earned her seat at the head table of professional tennis. Her performance in Dubai was a showcase of this new Alex. In the round of 32, she faced the world's number 8, Jasmine Paolini, a former Dubai champion and a 2-time Grand Slam finalist. In a match that lasted nearly 2 hours, Alex displayed a level of tactical maturity that left commentators speechless. She dominated the first set 6-1, hitting lines with a confidence that felt almost Nadalesque. When Paolini tried to mount a comeback in the second set, Alex didn't panic. She stayed calm during a high-tension tiebreak, winning 5 of the last 7 points to seal her third career top 10 victory. She followed that up by grinding down veteran Sorana Cirstea in a grueling night session, proving that her physical endurance has finally caught up to her technical skills. Behind this surge is a silent but powerful force, the off-season training at the Rafa Nadal Academy. Late in 2025, Alex shared a special practice session with Rafa Nadal himself, his first time back on court since his retirement. The tips he gave her on her left-handed forehand and her court positioning are now bearing fruit. You can see it in her movement. She's covering the court with more explosiveness, turning defensive positions into offensive opportunities with one flick of the wrist. Even in her recent quarterfinal loss to world number 4 Coco Gauff, the difference was clear. After a tough first set, Alex fought back in the second, breaking Gauff's powerful serve and refusing to let the match go without a fight. Gauff herself admitted after the match that Alex is a tough competitor, who can come back at any moment. So what does this mean for the Miami 2026 rematch against Iga Swiatek? It means Iga isn't facing a wildcard anymore. She is facing a player who has spent 2026 beating top 10 opponents, a player who has won over $1 million in career prize money, and a player who now carries the hopes of an entire nation with the confidence of a veteran. The Eala evolution is complete. She has the power, she has the ranking, and she has the belief. The girl who shocked Iga in 2025 was a surprise. The woman who will face her in 2026 is a legitimate contender for the title. The world saw a miracle once. Now, they are about to see a masterpiece. If you think Iga Swiatek has forgotten that afternoon in Miami, think again. For a six-time Grand Slam champion and a woman who has held the world #1 spot for over 125 weeks, a loss like that isn't just a statistics, it's a scar. Iga Swiatek is a perfectionist. She is a player who thrives on dominance, and losing to a wildcard ranked outside the top 100 on one of her favorite surfaces was a massive blow to her psychological armor. As we approach the 2026 Sunshine Swing, Iga isn't just coming to Miami to win a trophy. She is coming to silence the doubts and re-establish the hierarchy. For her, Alex Eala isn't just another opponent anymore. She is the girl who proved that the Queen of Clay can be vulnerable on the hard courts. Looking back at 2025, Iga did manage to get a measure of revenge when they met again on the red clay of Madrid. But even then, it wasn't the blowout everyone expected. Alex pushed her to the limit, winning the first set and forcing Iga to dig deep into her tactical reservoir to survive. Iga won that battle, but the war for hard-court supremacy remains undecided. As we enter the 2026 season, Iga's form has been a rollercoaster of high-intensity wins and surprising stumbles. Under the guidance of her coach Wim Fissette, Iga has been working tirelessly on her serve and her forehand stability, the very weapons that Alex Eala exposed in Miami. In early 2026, Iga led Poland to a United Cup victory, but she also faced a tough straight-sets loss to Coco Gauff, showing that she is still susceptible to aggressive, flat hitters. The psychological battle between these two is fascinating. In her recent interviews, Iga has been more vocal about her mental health and the pressure of the mandatory WTA calendar. She has even suggested skipping some tournaments in 2026 to stay 100% focused for the events that matter most. And you can bet that Miami is at the top of that list. For Iga, Miami 2026 is a chance to prove that 2025 was a rustiness issue, a one-off anomaly. Her camp knows that if she meets Alex Eala again, the crowd will not be on her side. The Laban Alex chants will be deafening, and the pressure to perform as the heavy favorite will be immense. Iga thrives when she's in a flow state, but Alex Eala is the ultimate flow breaker. She disrupts rhythms and forces her opponents into uncomfortable positions. Iga's revenge mission is built on a never-again mentality. Her social media has been filled with intense training clips from her base in Warsaw, focusing on lateral movement and reacting to left-handed spins. She knows that Alex Eala's game has only gotten better, and she knows that Alex now has the confidence of a top 32 player. This isn't just about tennis balls and rackets anymore, it's about a champion's pride. Every time Iga steps onto a hard court now, the ghost of that 6-2, 7-5 defeat lingers in the background. The 2026 Miami Open is her chance to exorcise that ghost. If the brackets put them together, expect an Iga Swiatek who is more focused, more aggressive, and more determined than ever. She doesn't just want to win. She wants to send a message to Alex Eala and the entire world that the Iga Bakery is back in business and that the throne is not for sale. As we count down the days to the 2026 Miami Open, the anticipation is no longer just about a tennis match. It has transformed into a cultural phenomenon. For the Philippines, this isn't just a sport, it's a moment of national identity. If the brackets align and we get the Iga Swiatek rematch, the Hard Rock Stadium won't just be a tennis venue, it will become a battlefield where the Queen of Poland meets the hero of the Philippines. This potential showdown represents everything we love about the game: the underdog's rise, the champion's resilience, and the sheer unpredictability of greatness. For Alex Eala, this is her moment to prove that she belongs in the top tier of the WTA forever. For Iga Swiatek, it's a fight to protect her legacy from a rising tide. The atmosphere in Miami is expected to be unlike anything we've seen in years. The South Florida region has one of the most passionate Filipino-American communities in the United States, and you can bet that every single seat in the arena will be filled with fans draped in the blue, red, and yellow of the Philippine flag. When Alex walks onto that court, she won't be alone. She will be carrying the hopes of over 115 million people back home in the islands and millions more across the globe. We saw it in Dubai just last week, even against world-class stars, the Laban Alex. Chants were so loud they rattled the world's elite. In Miami, that energy will be magnified tenfold. This home court advantage in a neutral country is Alex's secret weapon. And it's something that even the ice-cold nerves of Iga Swiatek might find difficult to ignore. But let's look at the tactical reality. Who actually wins this rematch in 2026? On one hand, you have Iga Swiatek, who is arguably the greatest tactical mind in the game today. She has the slide, the heavy topspin, and a return of serve that can break anyone's spirit. If she plays her A-game, she is almost untouchable. But on the other hand, you have the 2026 version of Alex Eala. She is taller, stronger, and more experienced. Her left-handed serve has become a major weapon, sliding away from Iga's backhand and opening up the court for those devastating cross-court winners. Most importantly, Alex now has the ranking cushion. Being world number 32 means she won't be exhausted from the early rounds. She will be fresh, hungry, and ready to repeat history. As we look at the Google Trends and the social media buzz, it's clear that the world is ready. From the streets of Manila to the tennis clubs of Warsaw, everyone is debating the outcome. Will Iga Swiatek finally get her revenge and prove that 2025 was just a minor slip-up on her road to legendary status? Or will Alex Eala deliver another crushing blow, confirming that she is the kryptonite to Iga's dominance? One thing is certain: regardless of the final score, this match will be a win for the sport of tennis. It represents the global expansion of the game and the fact that greatness can come from anywhere, be it a clay court in Poland or a hard court in the Philippines. So as we prepare for the sunshine swing of 2026, keep your eyes on the draw. The Iga Swiatek rematch is the story of the year. It's about pride, it's about revenge, and it's about the soul of a champion. Alex Eala is ready to make history once again, and the entire nation is standing right behind her. The question remains: are you ready for the most explosive rematch in WTA history? Let us know in the comments who you think will take the crown in Miami. Will it be the Polish powerhouse or our Pinoy pride? The countdown starts now. Laban Alex.